Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today, we're going to be taking a tour of my Mafia car garage in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, we're doing some more garage tours this week because I figure I'm going to get these all done because at the end of this year, I feel like my garages probably are going to be quite a bit different. I haven't done a Mafia car garage tour for quite some time in Grand Theft Auto Online, so I figured I would do it. Now, there is something a little bit different about this garage. It is a little bit smaller than most of my other garages. This is, of course, a 6-car garage, if you guys couldn't tell by just how it looks behind me here. Obviously, this is a 6-car garage, so it's, you know, there's a few less cars here than in a 10-car garage. If you guys know basic math, you could probably figure that out for yourself, and I probably didn't need to explain it. But anyway, guys, it's still a really cool garage. Definitely one of my favorite garages, I think. This house is, of course, Hangman Avenue. I think it's one of the coolest houses that you can buy in Grand Theft Auto Online. You get a pool and everything like that. So I always decide to leave my, Mafia sort of styled cars in this garage. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start off with the first car in the garage. To start off with, we have the Ubermacht Oracle. Now, this is an Oracle that you can steal right off of the street. You can also buy it on Southern San Andreas Super Autos for $80,000. It will be a little bit closer to the bottom of that website. It's a great car, in my opinion. It's one of the best cars that you can steal off of the street. It's got some degree of customization as well, which is really, really nice. And obviously, being a free car and, having as good of performance as it has is, pretty underrated, I feel like. It's got some pretty good customization options overall. I wouldn't say they're like anything too amazing, but they are very good nonetheless. The Oracle for 80 grand, it's pretty quick when you fully upgrade it and when you tint the windows all the way out. This thing is like, a really, really sleek looking vehicle. Obviously it's got the quad exhausts on it there and everything, and I of course have the concave mega mesh rims on it, like, my favorite rim. I think it looks great. I'm really happy with this car. The customization, I haven't touched it for quite some time, but that's just because I'm so happy with how the car looks. The fitment on the wheels is pretty good as well. There's really nothing bad about this car. I would definitely say if you don't have an Oracle, definitely a pretty cool car to look into. So definitely check this thing out. As for the next car in the garage, this is of course an Enis Cognoscenti 55. This thing goes for about 155k, I want to say. And the 55 version of it is the faster sort of version. There's also the Enis Cognoscenti, it's just called the Cognoscenti. Actually, I think it's called the Cognoscenti LWB. So it's different than the 55. The 55 is a little less long wheelbase and a little more sporty because of it. It's a very fun car to drive, and it's just such an awesome car. Me and my friend Aaron both share matching Enis Cognoscenti 55s. Him and I both bought these, customized in the exact same way, and we drive them together, when we play GTA Online. Pretty cool rolling up with one of your friends in the exact same car. I think it's actually, pretty tight. The car itself is pretty fast. It's also got a customizable interior color. I think that we have, I believe it's Cabernet Red on the interior because it's a little bit subtle, but it gives it a little tiny bit of a pop as well, which is pretty nice. We got the 10-spoke rims on it. I can't remember what these are called, but I'm sure one of you guys is going to know in the comments for sure. This is just like a really elegant car. Definitely like, the Mafia boss would be, driven around in the back of one of these things, I feel like. Overall, it's just a great car. It looks great, it performs pretty well. You're not going to win any races with it, but that's not why you buy one of these in the first place, so obviously it doesn't really matter. So that's pretty much it for the Enis Cognoscenti 55. On to the next vehicle. And of course, the next vehicle is the Gallivanter Baller. Now, this is the Gallivanter Baller that you can steal right off of the street in GTA Online. Obviously, concave mega mesh on this thing as well. Now, the reason that this is a off-the-street baller is because I have several different types of Gallivanter Baller. I think that I actually own every single one in the entire game, and I just decided to make the street version into my Mafia sort of Gallivanter Baller, if you will. Obviously, what makes this different than the regular Gallivanter Ballers is it has this the chrome pinstripe on it that goes all the way around the side. The grille is chrome, and it has no customization options, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish this thing had some stuff you could actually do to it. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. So I got the concave mega mesh on there. I got the windows tinted all the way out, as you should if you are a Mafia boss. It makes complete sense. The performance on this thing, it's not terrible. It's a pretty fun SUV to drive. I feel like it does have some pretty bad understeer, unfortunately, but it's got good power, I would say, and overall, it's mostly a good car to drive, I would say as well. So that's pretty good. that's it for the Gallivanter Baller. Obviously, you can steal this thing off the street, or you can buy it for $90,000 on Southern San Andreas Super Auto, so I figured I would just mention that as well. For the next vehicle in the garage, obviously, we have the declassy Granger 3600 LX that was added with the contract DLC. This is for the Mafia boss, again, to ride in, and it has the armor plating equipped, so it has semi-bullet resistant windows as well. It's also got a missile lock-on jammer because of Imani tech. Obviously, this is one of the vehicles that you can equip with the missile lock-on jammer, so I have done that. It's got the bull bar on it, it's got the roof rack, and the light bar as well, so if you need to go and dump off some bodies or anything like that, I mean, you got some room in the back of this thing. Same within the Gallivanter as well. You know, these are definitely more suited for doing some off-roading sort of stuff, and maybe dumping off some bodies if you did need to do such a thing, which obviously you don't because you're innocent as a Mafia boss. So Granger, I mean, pretty great SUV. It's got the snorkel on it too, I should also mention that. I really like the Granger 3600. I think it's definitely a really good car to pick up, and especially at its price point, it is pretty cheap. So yeah, nothing to complain about with the Granger. Definitely pick one of these things up if you don't have one already somehow. For the next vehicle in the garage, we obviously have the Dundreary Landstalker XL. Now this thing goes for about $1.3 million, so it's a little more expensive than the Granger. Actually, they're pretty similar in price, to be honest, and the Granger is definitely the better car though. However, the Landstalker XL I do think is fantastic. It's got some good customization to it. Obviously, I have the Sugoi concave on this thing, which I'm not really sure how I feel about that looking back, but anyway. It's got the roof rack, it's got the front splitter, it's got the side steps as well, and I believe it also has a rear bumper and an exhaust. So this thing's murdered out. Obviously, I've got the window tint fully on this as well. The Landstalker XL, I feel like it's a pretty great SUV. I feel like it's faster than the Granger 3600. However, as far as usefulness goes, obviously that has Imani tech and armor, whereas this has neither of those things. So you're a lot more vulnerable in the Landstalker. However, I do think that it is probably a cooler SUV overall. It's based off of a Lincoln Navigator in real life, or a Ford Explorer. It depends which one you want to look at. I would more consider it to be a Lincoln, but I mean, to each their own, right? Overall, I do think that this is a really good car. For 1.3 mil, I can't say that I recommend it more than the Granger. I think the Granger is really the best bang for your buck out of this whole garage. But both are, you know, cool vehicles, I have to say. So, you know, there you have it. And last but not least, we of course have the Enis Deity. Now the Enis Deity, I think this is a fantastic car. As you guys can see, it has machine guns equipped on the front of it. The Granger is also equipable with machine guns on the front as well, if you so choose to do that. So just wanted to mention that as well. The Enis Deity is based pretty heavily off of a Bentley Mulsanne in real life, or a Bentley Flying Spur. Kind of depends which, you know, one you like more, and you know what you pay attention to more, I guess, really. As you guys can see, concave mega mesh on this thing as well, so that's 4 out of 6 cars in this garage, in case anyone's keeping tally. The Enis Deity is probably the most customizable car in this entire garage, I'm gonna go ahead and say. Yeah, I will say that. Obviously, it's got tons and tons of options you can do. I think it's a carbon grille surround, it's a carbon front splitter, you got the machine guns on it, you got the side skirts, the roof, I think the mirrors even. This thing is also equipable with armor and Imani tech as well, so it's another one of the vehicles that you can really protect yourself with. I wish that this thing was all-wheel drive. If it was all-wheel drive, it would probably be one of the better cars from the contract DLC. However, it is only rear-wheel drive, so getting, you know, off the line in a hurry is kind of hard to do. So it's not exactly a super great car for running away from enemies maybe. But for the most part, I do feel like it is a pretty cool vehicle. Like I said, lots of customization, decently fast, obviously a 4-seater. That is something you will notice about every single car in this garage, is they all are 4-seaters. So, you know, in case you need to roll with the mob, you know, you're good to go. You can have, you know, some guys in there with you to protect you. You're just good to go. That's pretty much it for my Mafia themed garage. Let me know what you guys think of my Mafia themed garage in the comments down below. I'm pretty happy with it. I just changed out a few of these cars right before I started recording this video. I had to update the garage. I try to keep on top of it, but when you got so many cars like I do, I mean, it's, you know, it's hard to keep on top of all of this, you know what I'm saying? So Anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the video. If you guys enjoyed this, if you want to see more garage tours, let me know in the comments down below. I've got a few more that I can do. I have a truck garage, I have an off-road garage, I have a racing garage. So those are 3 that I'm probably going to do that you can expect to see in the next week and a half sort of thing. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.